Hey folks, it's James with another episode of Bartender Basics. Today we're going to go over basic bartending equipment, or at least the basic, more common stuff. There's a ton of stuff out there, but we're certainly not going to use all of it. So to start with, we have the classic mixing spoon, which I highly recommend anybody get. Now there's a few different versions out there. There's one with a little few prongs on the end for broken fruit. There's one that has a flat side. If you see the spoon standing up, that's actually supposed to be a muddler, but I would just use a basic muddler. So this is a traditional spoon. It's about 12 to 14 inches long. They do make them twice as long as that. I don't know what that's for, maybe like bartender sword fighting. Not really necessary. The spoon itself, a wonderful tool. You can also use it if you just put a dash in there to spoon in small amounts of liquid to your cocktail if we only want a little bit. Next, we're gonna go to the strainers. Now the classic strainer is gonna be your Hawthorne Strainer. I'm sure you might have seen one of those. Now that's just gonna prop nicely over there and you're gonna strain it in and that's gonna hold all your ice back. Now next we would have a julep strainer. A julep strainer is used in tandem with like a cocktail mixing glass, which is a large round glass with little pour spout. I don't find that super necessary. If you do find yourself stirring a lot of cocktails and you don't have any kind of wide glass to use, then you could get yourself one. But a julep strainer looks kind of like a big spoon with like a colander style bottom. Not something I use a lot. Next we have the fine mesh strainer. Now a fine mesh strainer will be used when that Hawthorne strainer won't get out particulates. So like muddled blackberries, anything with like seeds in it, this will help get all that out of it. So when you use it, you'll use it in tandem with your Hawthorne strainer and you'll pour it over the glass like so, and then that'll fill up with all your seeds and particulates, and as that's straining, just give it a good tap to shake out all that liquid. So that covers strainers. Next we're gonna go to our jiggers. Now jiggers come in quite a few different sizes, so make sure you know what jigger you're using. Like this one is an ounce in an ounce and a half. You'll see them an ounce and 2 ounces. You'll see a half an ounce in an ounce. Just make sure when you're using a jigger, you know what size it is and how much you're using. Then we have our bartender speed key. Now I'm sure you've seen one of these and you're like, I can open a bottle without that. What we're looking at today is this fun little doohickey here. If you ever have one of these pour spouts that get stuck, that goes over like so and pops it out nice and easy. So fun little trick there for you. Next we have a wine key. Now the wine key, I'm sure a lot of you have probably used or maybe used the one that has the 2 arms on it. This one actually has 2 spots here, okay? And that's what I'm gonna show you to use today. And this little blade on the back. So in theory, the blade on the back is to open the foil. But if you can, I recommend a lot of these bottles, the foil just pops right off and you don't need to worry about that. So then you're gonna take this, you're gonna put that into the wine. You're gonna screw down. Now you wanna go as low as you can go. And on that first spot, you're gonna see that that top one is the one you're gonna use, and then you're gonna put it up to the next one. You see that? So we're gonna start there, and then we're gonna end down here to really pull that all the way out. So that's your wine key and how to use that. Super simple on that one. And finally, we've got the shaker. Now, again, there's quite a few different types of shakers out there. A lot of you are gonna have the ones that come with the top that goes on that has like a little built-in strainer and thing. I think that's garbage. We have our Hawthorne, we don't need that. And you're gonna say, James, what do I shake with then? What you're gonna shake with, just get yourself a pint glass. Put that pint glass in there, give it a little pop, that's fine. Just give it a good pop, and then it stays in nice and good. So with your shaker, when you're shaking, I use one hand, but feel free to use 2 hands if you feel safer doing that. With one hand, either way, however you're doing it, don't do it like this, right? We wanna shake it, and we want to hit both sides. The ice should be hitting both sides. So when I shake one side, shake back the other side. So just make sure when you're shaking something, you're hitting both sides of that tin. So that's all that's really important. Oh, and just in case you missed it, just give it a little pop and that pops right out. Nice and easy. So that covers all of the bartender basic tools today. If you have any questions, just pop them in the comments below. Thanks for coming.